Hey guys, how's it going today? It is Leo, and today we're going to be reviewing the Hades plus the Infinity Gauntlet, the new Infinity Gauntlet from the Infinity Crate, how it performs, how much money does it make, is it something that you should aim for? I already crunched all the numbers together. I did it live on stream, so if you were there, you already know. But if you don't know, how much does the Hades plus Infinity Gauntlet make? We know that the Infinity Gauntlet gives you vein mining, but can you imagine Hades, which is a tunneling pick, plus vein mining? I can't show an example, unfortunately, in the video because the Gauntlet is out for rental at the moment, but I did want to make this video, and I'm going to elaborate on the strategy that we use, how much money we made, and one thing to note is during this experiment, we didn't use the Genesis Orb, just because we already know we've done the experiment tons and tons of times before. We know that the Gorb on average makes about 30,000 per hour, just as long as you are actually, gorbing on time and keeping track of keeping yourself accountable for that 4-minute timer. Now, to get into it, I think first things first, we're gonna get into the loadout, exactly what I use. There is a core part to make the Hades work, if you guys didn't know yet, but let's jump right into it. So for the helmet, we are using the Luminar helmet, which gives you haste 5, night vision, and block the range, the 3-block range. So that is our helmet, which is crucial because of the haste 5. Next is Nanovex leggings. Now you can use anything for leggings. The Nanovex isn't really that crucial, but the reason why I like to use it is because it passively regenerates hunger and you're immune to fall damage. So just kind of like a little quality of life there. That's why Nanovex leggings is arguably one of the best leggings that I think is in the server right now. But of course it has Swift Sneak 5, which is useful when you're mining with Hyperion, if you're Adamantium, and the Genesis, which I also believe that the Adamantium, they updated the vein mining to make everything work. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I believe they updated the vein mining on the Adamantium, so it makes them extremely more viable now. And then of course we are using Cosmic Boots, but you can use any lava walking boot. It is pretty base. If you guys are endgame mining, then you kind of already know the rundown here. And of course, we don't have anything in our offhand because the Infinity Gauntlet is supposed to be there. Yeah, so we're not using the Blossom Staff, we're not using the Gorb. The main thing is just the Hades. In this experiment, we literally only mine with the Hades, going straight, just kind of mining whatever ores that we saw around us. And the one crucial thing is you need to get the no miner cooldown mod if you are planning to mine with the Hades with the Luminar helmet, because if you don't use it, I'll show you guys what it's going to look like. Without a turn that off, it's going to be mining at this rate. You see, that's awfully painful, but if you turn it on, way better. You may have noticed that I skipped over one crucial piece, which it's not crucial. Not crucial if you have the Space Stone. The Infinity Gauntlet does give you an ability for speed 5 if you have the Space Stone in your hotbar. Now I don't have one. I don't even have the Gauntlet, so I'm not looking to invest to the Space Stone quite yet. So what I used for the experiment was the Chronopunk wings from the Chronopunk Crate season 11. So what this does is it gives you speed 5 as long as you have Lapis Lazuli. As long as you have Lapis Lazuli in your inventory, it'll automatically consume it, in which you will passively get more and more Lapis Lazuli just as long as you are actively mining. I do keep some on the side in my inventory just in case I run a little bit low, but during my experiments I had no issues whatsoever. Just as long as you're mining actively throughout the hour, the Lapis Lazuli consumption rate is really slow. So if you don't have a Space Stone, let's say you spend all your money on a Infinity Gauntlet, the greatest alternative so you can get a speed item is going to be Chronopunk wings, which gives you speed 5. So that pretty much sums up the loadout that I use. Black Pearl. You need the Black Pearl. Honestly, huge quality of life because you're getting the telekinesis. There's no built-in telekinesis with the Hades. I think the Infinity Gauntlet had a really missed opportunity. I think it would have made it so much more heavily sought after, maybe a little bit too OP, but if the Infinity Gauntlet had telekinesis, I think people would go crazy for it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. But yeah, that pretty much sums up the loadouts. And to break it down now moving forward to break it down. So how did I run this test? Well, we kind of changed it up a little bit. In past experiments, you guys know that I used to just run an hour and then just did multiple runs and then calculate the average that way. Now we're trying something new on the channel, and we're also spreadsheeting everything with Darcy. So huge shout out to Darcy for spreadsheeting all the numbers and crunching all the numbers together. So what do we do? So when we mined, what we did is we emptied our bow all into claim blocks just so we can get the most accurate pinpoint number for each run, and we were doing runs of 10 minutes. We did 6 total runs of 10 minutes each, and that way we can get like an average per 10 minutes, and then we can just kind of calculate the average there. Then we can get our average hour for how much we make. So we're probably going to throw up the spreadsheet in just a moment. I'm just trying to see if I missed anything because this is not a scripted video. We're not live, by the way, either. We emptied our bell, and we just mined straight. Whatever ores that we saw, we just mined it with the vein mining and everything. And it was actually, well, my thoughts. Actually, let me get into my, thoughts at the end. Let's pull up the spreadsheet. So here we go. This is the spreadsheet that Darcy composed for us as we kind of just fed her the numbers. Let's break it down, and then let's figure out how much we made per hour. So there's a lot to break down here. So starting things off, of course, this one is called the Infinity Gauntlet testing, and we have our 6 runs right here. So how we broke it down was each run we get the raw money that we got in our bow. Whatever was reflected upon our bow is how much we made for the 10 minutes. So for the first run, we got 15,500 for 10 minutes, and then we got 46 gold blocks, 18 iron blocks. Second run was kind of similar, 15,000 as well. So at this point I was kind of like, oh, okay, this is actually kind of consistent. 15,000 is a really great number, with 42 gold blocks, 18 iron blocks. So the exact same for iron blocks. Then as for our third one, that's when we saw a little bit of a dip there. We dropped, I guess, like 3,000. We got $12,300 for our third one. I started to feel a little bit anxious now. I'm like, okay, like we had 2 runs for 15,000, now we got 12,000. Whatever. And also keep in mind, less gold blocks, less iron blocks. It wasn't looking so hot. Then our fourth run, we brought it up by 1,000 to 13,700 with 21 gold blocks and 22 iron blocks. Then moving forward to our fifth run, we should be at the 15-minute mark now. And we got $15,800 in money for 10 minutes. And then we got 32 gold blocks and 29 iron blocks, so it's looking pretty good there. And to wrap things up with our sixth run, we got $14,400 with 21 gold blocks and 67 iron blocks. Now, how are we going to break this down? Now, again, this is kind of like a new method that we're going for. This one keeps the run quite consistent, so this is how we're going to be doing it moving forward, of 10-minute runs. So we actually pretty much, we can ignore the right side here. Pretty much we get our average at the very bottom here. So there's 2 different categories. So there's selling and there's smithing. So in terms of like the gold blocks and iron blocks, if you're not, these are all scaled off of level 1. If you're smithing, it's scaled off of level 100 smither. Now, if you're not level 100 smither, this is going to be what you're getting for selling based off of ore room prices. Now, it can be inconsistent if you are playing on a different server. As for Lotus, this is, since I'm a Lotus player, I can only do the calculation for Lotus. Or, I mean, I could put in extra effort for sure, but this keeps it more, it keeps it easy for me. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, it keeps it easy for me. So let's break it down here. So for the average, for every 10 minutes, we got 14,150. That seems about right based on these runs. Now I could have done more. Let me know if you guys would like to see more runs. They're actually insanely easy. I honestly wouldn't mind. But for every 10 minutes we got 14,150, and then we can calculate the hour. Now what we do is we just multiply this by 6, because of course 10 minutes, if there's 10 minutes runs, and if every average 10 minutes we get 14,150, we can just multiply that by 6, because of course there's 60 minutes in an hour. And that brings our total to $84,900 just in money alone. That's just from mining, no selling, no smithing with the gold, and no selling for iron and gold blocks, just straight up money, which is actually not a bad amount. That's actually really good. No Gorb, no Blossom stuff. From what I remember based on previous experiments, I think the adamantium in Genesis was bringing us around $60,000 from my based on my last calculations per hour alone, without any Gorb, without any assistance. Now this strategy brings us $84,900 an hour. That is $20,000 more than what you would make with the adamantium and Genesis pickaxe. That is huge. And not only that, but with smithing. So at level 100 smelter, if you smelt all the gold and all the iron blocks you accumulate average on hour, you will make an additional, you'll bump it up to well, you make an additional $15,829 on average. So adding that together, you get $94,978 just from smelting, and of course mining with the Hades and the Infinity Gauntlet. Keep in mind, this was such a effortless experiment because all I had to do was just mine. I didn't have to Gorb, I didn't have to Blossom Staff. I've been Blossom Staffing, that's been my method for the last, like, I would say couple months. This was the most low effort thing ever, but we'll get into my thoughts a little bit more at the end here, because to take a look here, there's not really much of a difference, I guess, with smithing and selling. Just as long as you are level 100. Remember, when you are level 100 smither, it's not going to be too much. You're still gonna be profiting, but it's very, very marginal. If you are smither level like 10 or something like that, this profit for how much you get would be way lower. If you were smelting the ores yourself, you would be getting such a lower amount because of course everything's scaled off of levels. So how much is it with the Gorb now? So to wrap things up, if I smelt all those ores that I get within an hour, plus I use the Gorb throughout the hour, and using this strategy, I make $124,978. That's a lot of money. That is actually a lot of money based off of how much effort, the effort output was required. Again, I was just mining straight. If I saw an ore, I would mine it, move forward. That was the strategy. It was the most easiest. It was the easiest money I've ever made. And now to get into my thoughts about this whole thing, I don't know if you're surprised. I was pretty shocked. To be honest, I was pretty shocked with how the experiment turned out. Will I be getting an Infinity Gauntlet after seeing this? Probably. Because beforehand, when I was testing it out, I didn't get any of the raw numbers. I wasn't impressed. But now actually calculating everything and seeing how much it makes, I'm definitely gonna be getting an Infinity Gauntlet. Just to kind of wrap things up, that's pretty much my thoughts on it. It's pretty straightforward. Yeah, dude, wait for the keys to come out on the pedal shop or the key shop. Get your Infinity Gauntlet as soon as you possibly can, because this is an insane strategy if you are an in-game miner and are looking to kind of get the lowest effort money that you can possibly make in the server. It would be so easy to just put a movie, put a show, even my stream on the side, and use this strategy to mine. It was so fun. It was so fun. It was so effortless, so easy. Dude, I give the strategy like a solid 8.5 out of 10 just based on effort alone. Yeah, that pretty much sums up the video. We're kind of ranting on for long enough here. If you guys enjoyed the video and found it informative, please hit that subscribe button as well as like. We are going to be bringing back the money per hour videos just because I'm having a lot of fun with it. I got my second win and we are going to be dishing out tons and tons of more Blossomcraft content for you guys to watch. Now, to now pivot over to the next part. Now I want to ask you guys a question. Would you guys like to see this experiment with the Infinity Gauntlet with the Hyperion? Or I'm gonna give you guys a choice. Would you guys rather see just the Blossom Staff method and Hades? Let me know in the comments down below which one you guys want to see next. And other than that, I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.